According to the files in the frontman's office, Squid Game has been around since 1988. Let's say that they have 456 people every year in Squid Game. That would mean there was 14,592 players participating in Squid Game since 1988. If there was only one winner of each game, that means there would be 32 winners. The doll from Squid Game is actually 100% real and was sent to a museum. The doll was actually sent to a horse carriage museum, but the museum misunderstood the instructions and put it outside. Unsuspected guests were terrified by the doll. The doll actually lost an arm while being transported as well, and no one can find it. Now, the doll has been placed by the museum in storage, and I don't think will be seen anytime soon. The director has stated that one of the reasons that he had Gi-yeon dye his hair red is to show the guilt and anger that he had from the Squid Game and finding out that the old man was really behind it the whole time. I think the director may be hiding something, and maybe he is really planning a second season already behind the scenes. Gi-yeon's red hair could foreshadow something that could happen in season 2. The director of the show is very happy with the show's success so far, but does not want to jump back into it and feel like he is rushing a series. He honestly has not decided if there will be a season 2 yet, but he said if there is a season 2, he will not want to work alone. He worked alone on this entire series and would want more experienced directors working with him as well. Since the actors had to play on real sets, they actually all picked their favorite game, and actually all of them really loved Red Light Green Light the best. If you were in Squid Game, what is a game you feel that you could beat? I feel like Red Light Green Light would be the only game that I could somewhat compete in, and I would just fumble the other games. And the shapes on the masks that the game staff wear all have their own significance. Staff members with circles on their masks are at the lowest of the staff. These are the majority of workers. The staff that has triangles on their masks are considered soldiers. And lastly, any staff that has squares on their masks are managers in charge of the circles and the triangles. They have the most power out of everyone. The actress from Squid Games who plays Sae-Byeok, it was actually her first acting experience ever. Ho-yeon Jung, who plays Sae-Byeok, had never acted before and is usually known as a model. She is ranked by Vogue as Korea's next top model. In Squid Games, she did a phenomenal job and is one of my favorite characters. Ho-yeon Jung, who plays Sae-Byeok, was around 400,000 followers in September. Now, as you can see right above me, she is at 11.5 million followers. This just shows you how popular Squid Game and her character is. The director wanted to be 100% accurate, so they actually had 456 players exactly. So, in the beginning, there was actually a total count of 456 actors and actresses as players. Like many other TV shows and movies, they didn't want to take any shortcuts whatsoever. The reason why the staff and the players are in pink and green is to create the team environment. This team environment erases individuality and personality from the players and staff. The goal was to make each person forget their individual self. Squid Game actually wasn't originally called Squid Game. The original title that was released in 2019 by Netflix Korea was actually going to be Round 6. I'm glad they changed the name. It actually took the director 6 whole months to write only the first 2 episodes. He wrote these entirely by himself and then got some input from some friends for the other episodes. He finished writing the script in 2009. The number written on the back of the card was actually a real Korean phone number. The owner of this phone number randomly started getting over 1,000 calls a day and even more after the show became even more popular around the world. As of right now, Netflix is offering him around $4,000 for the phone number, but I feel like that should be way more because they used his number without permission, 1. And 2, supposedly he can't get sleep and has been taking sleeping pills because he's getting like 4,000 texts and calls a day. Every single set you see, including the very colorful ones throughout the show, was actually 100% real and hand-built. On the first day of shooting, the actors, actresses, and crew members actually went around and took pictures of all the sets because they were so amazed. The director's goal was to have as little as possible visual effects. The director of Squid Game actually wrote the show based on the modern capitalist society. He wanted the show to depict extreme competition just like the extreme competition in everyday life, including work. He made the show more powerful by adding characters that he thought everyone would see and relate to in real life. The craziest part of this show is that it feels so real. The Squid Game director actually came up with the idea in 2008, 13 years ago. The director was in real bad debt at this time and even thought to himself that he would participate in these games if they were real during this time.